today is located within that shell. But there are some other activities that we can do outside of the shell. And so I've provided a couple different options for that. So kind of quick introductions. My name is Brandon Marshall. I am an instructional designer here at CCC, and I'm also an English professor. And I poker reviewer, poker mentor, all that kind of fun stuff. And we'll talk a little bit about poker a little bit later. Um, Sarah, my poker course is done. I want to throw that out there. I think it's done for you and Monica to take a look at, and they will give me some feedback. But I digress. So today, let me go ahead and share my screen. We're gonna eek. Monica, can I get a screen share, please? Awesome. Ooh, it still says disabled. Yeah, I'm getting host disabled participant screen sharing. Is that Randy? Oh, I'm the host now. Thank you. Okay, so the majority of what we're going to do today is located in the regular and substantive interaction Spring 2024 module, and this is in the DEPD shell. So once you come into the shell, you dropped in this page here, and then you just click on modules, scroll down past Monica's, and then welcome to Spring 2024. That's where I'm going to start today. Okay, so I just want to spend a little bit of a moment. There's a lot of new faces in here. I'm super happy to see that. So I appreciate y'all for coming in here, and my old friends. I'm happy to see you too. But let's introduce ourselves to Kathleen's here. Let's introduce ourselves to the group around us, and tell us your name, department, in the heading. I'll show you how to do that, and then I'm going to ask you to insert a picture of something that inspires you. And after you insert that picture, and I'm going to show you how to do all this. After you insert that picture in 25 or 50 words, give us a little blurb about why you're inspired by the picture that you shared with us. And once you've posted, I'm going to ask you to look at the posts of the people here and kind of reply to someone with whom you share a connection. So if someone else has inspiration that gives you inspiration or you have that connection, chime in, show that there's a connection there and that you guys have something in common. Okay. We're going to do this through Padlet. So it's one of the RSI, regular and substantive interaction tools that works really well in Canvas because you can see it's kind of got this pretty picture and everything in here will stay in here and it will update automatically. And so even though you might be in an online course and you might be in an asynchronous environment where people are not together, by using this app, it's a centralized location within Canvas that literally brings people together into an almost real-time conversation moment. And then you can have so many cool interactions. And I love this because there's a lot of visuals, etc. I've included a QR code in case you want to do this on your phone. So you could just snap this with your QR code reader, your camera. I don't think anyone uses QR code readers anymore. You shouldn't, because I think that most of them are now kind of spyware. But your cameras on your phones will take care of this, and it'll drop you off where you need to go. I'm hoping that this little or here doesn't little ally thing doesn't screw it up. I didn't really see that. But in order to use Padlet, just in case this is your first time, this giant plus button down here in the corner, right? And then subject here. So I would put Brandon Marshall, English. All right, and then in order to kind of put a picture of something here, this little icon is really useful. If you have a picture on your computer or you know where there's one at, you can use a bunch of different things here. You can use the new AI. I can't search, I can't draw, but I think the easiest one here would be just kind of image search. Right, and so images here, I might say, I type in inspire, and then it'll give me a bunch of different images. And I know I looked here earlier and there were some really cool ones.
Hey, Brandon.
Yeah,
I'm
on
sorry.
over.
I hate to be the slowest in the class, but I'm falling behind already. I can't even get to the DE page to get started to where you're at. Can you direct me how I get there?
Do you see it in the chat? I put the self-enroll link in the chat. That should take you there. Give me a sec. Yeah, I'll just drop this link right now in there.
It's saying you're already enrolled.
Mhm.
Okay.
And
So if you
then
go to your dashboard,
Okay, and so okay, I'm there now.
okay, DEPD, and then go here,
and
uh,
then modules.
and then modules,
Modules, okay.
and then welcome to the regular substantive interaction 2020. Welcome to 2024.
And click Welcome to Spring 2024.
That's the module. Yeah, should be able to click into that, and then you should see this Padlet. Yes, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay.
I'm in. Thank
Okay,
you.
sweet. And then you can just interact with the Padlet directly from Canvas. And then I'll show us how to do this again in a second. Okay. So see Monica here. So again, uh, tell us your name, your department, and in the heading, in the subject, and then put a picture that really inspires you, and then tell us why it inspires you. So again, if you're still working on this, go ahead and click the add post, and then from here, in subject, you would put your name, your department, and then you can use this little icon here, the image search, to then search for any kind of image that you want. And so you could just kind of put some search term that corresponds with something that you draw inspiration from, and then share that picture. Then once you have that, then you would just click the submit button and then we'll post up here.
Where's the add button?
Okay. So you see the giant plus in the bottom right hand corner?
Now I do. Yes.
Yeah. So that's it. Or you can also just double click on the graphic anywhere in the text, the body of the Padlet. You can just double click on that and the same window will open up. So definitely want to see everybody in the room. Post something here, please. Oh, you use the AI. I haven't used the AI tool, but that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty, isn't it?
Mhm.
I'm a little nervous that I just stole somebody's artwork. I do have a little nerves around that,
It's the wait till the Supreme Court cases come in before we get too worried.
Yeah, the thievery of it all. But I would definitely give props to whomever created this beautiful
Very gray
scenic
area.
image. Yeah.
Very gray. I had a student email me, prospective student, to see if I would allow them to use AI to write their essays.
It's nice they're upfront about it.
Yeah, I was like, no, AI cannot possibly do the kind of writing that I need you to do. Not even close. You're going to be writing about your own life.
Mhm.
So that would be a little inauthentic for AI to write about your own life. Nice. Some really cool pictures. Now that we're getting some pictures populated, you'll see that there's an add comment section here. And so I just want to ask you to kind of pop in there as people are posting their images, and just connect with them. Say, hey, my name is. I'm not sure if Padlet will show your name, but sometimes it does. But most people, it looks like they're being popped in as anonymous. But just post in anything that you see as a connection. So I see Maria's posted something that I was like, I also in math, but in English, I also love those aha moments and the light when the light bulb shines. You just see it in their eyes, right? And then you click the little arrow here and it posts it, right? And you just see it in their eyes when they get something that you're trying to teach them, and they just understand it. Right? Swimming, nice. It's 16 weeks away. That's that sounds like Sarah. That's also always positive. Always an optimistic spin on it. 16 weeks? What's 16 weeks in the grand scheme of things? Very nice. Very nice. So these are all really cool. And so I'm hoping that you're able to start to see how we could use something that's not a discussion forum, because discussion fatigue is real. Students see a discussion forum and they're starting to glaze out, and they go on autopilot when they see discussion forums, right? So that's a real thing. And so if we want to combat that a little bit, we just want to mix it up some. Not to say never use a discussion forum ever, but why not accomplish similar objectives within your course with something that allows students to express their creativity in a really kind of cool way. And the thing I love about Padlet is the self-contained aspect of everything here. It's all right here. It's all right here. It's all clear. It's all centrally located. And so we can have these robust conversations without leaving screens. And we can see, as you're able to see, I haven't done anything. They just populate automatically. So that's one of the magical things about Padlet, is that all of this happens in real time. And students will come up to me in emails or in other classes, or will see me on campus, like Monica mentioned in her last session. Those students who just show up and say, "Hey, Professor Marshall," and I have to sit back for a second and try to figure out who they are. and I've developed a couple strategies to kindly say hi and remind me of your name. You look different. Or that tiny little picture is very hard to make out sometimes for people with bad vision. But you're able to see all these really cool things come up, and all of the people, like really quick and easy. You can start to see all of the connections that people have, and you can start to make connections with the people in your class. So love the backpack tool for this. Any questions so far on Padlet? We're gonna use it again, but I just want to see what people are thinking.
Yes, I have a question.
Mhm.
I've never used it before. I think I went to a workshop a long time ago, but I've never used it. Is it possible to put videos in there instead of pictures?
It is. It's absolutely possible. I was talking to Sarah about this a little bit earlier. I was going to put one of her video that we're going to watch in a second. I was trying to put it in Padlet, but they have to be YouTube. So it has to be a YouTube video. But again, like you would open this up and you go to the three little dot tool, and then go to the YouTube. Go to the YouTube, and all you need is the YouTube link. Now, you don't even have to, if you know the link already, or if you do YouTube on a separate page, you can just copy the link, not the embed code, just the link, and pop it in here, and a video will pop up.
Okay.
Let me see. Just see if I can find a random video real quick that I have. Okay, got us a video here. So I paste this little video in, and then click the arrow or hit the enter key, and it might take a second because its videos are larger, but populate pretty crazy mountain bike video that I was just watching.
Very cool.
Click submit, and then the video plays here. All right, so then we are able to watch the video right here. And then you can have students comment and work with it just like that.
Very cool. Thank you.
Yeah, so we can do a lot of stuff with Padlet. It's really useful for that. And often, like if I want to show a class video, I will put the video here, and then I'll have students kind of post responses to that video. And so they're able to kind of really start to spread out the conversation a little bit. So it's a fun tool, definitely. Great question. Other questions, comments, thoughts?
I have a question.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Kathleen,
I'm
go for it.
a little late, so I'm like, but so I do use Padlet a lot in my classes, and then I'm just wondering how you get it to mark as an assignment. Do you upload it? Do you do the code, the clipboard code as an assignment, or how do you? I mean, I've been having my students just like take a screenshot of what they've posted so they can remain anonymous and then screenshot but still get credit for it. I mean, do you have a better?
That's a good option. Because one of the things about Padlet and plugging into the speed grader is that it doesn't plug in as nice as something like Hypothesis, where their responses will show up in the speed grader panel. Unfortunately, it doesn't really do that. And so I prefer to kind of have them just upload. I put an assignment, and then if you use the external tool, so we can kind of see what I'm talking about here. So say I was gonna make a new assignment. Say I was going to make a new, my internet is slow today. Say I was going to make a new assignment, and then do a little Padlet test. Excuse my scroll. Find it at the bottom here. And then make sure you do it as an assignment. You don't have to do it as the assignment, but I like to do it as an assignment because then it even if it doesn't show up in SpeedGrader, when you put the points in, it has a placeholder for the points, right? And so you can put their points in, and then it'll contribute to the weighted averages, or however you have your gradebook set up. It'll contribute to that. So I use it as an assignment, and then it's in assignments and submission. Here you do the external tool, like we would do in Hypothesis, and you'll scroll down until we find Padlet. It's here alphabetically in the P. Then you'll go ahead and click on that, and then I have a ton of Padlets, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them, and so it'll give me some options for these. And so then I might just click any one of these that I want to use. And once I've clicked that Padlet, then I go ahead and click the select. And then I'll scroll down to, put my due dates or whatever. Right here, we'll just go ahead and save. Of course, I would have instructions and stuff that I had put up earlier, but this just shows you what the Padlet will show up here in the space, and then students will click on it. People are in the way here. Yeah, Sarah. And then it'll populate into your speed grader, so you're able to watch that. And then I like to have students take screenshots as well, and then there up here there will be a start assignment, and then when you set up the assignments, you would just and then have them give you the screensaver. Sorry, Sarah?
Yeah, that was my question. I just wanted to clarify, because I've never figured out a way to use this and do the grades for this reason. So you're saying you and Kathleen have the students basically take a screenshot of what they submit so that it shows us a submission on the assignment. And then you're still participating in the discussion, but then you don't have to necessarily track them on an external gradebook or something. Is that right?
True. Yeah. The other thing that you can do that I also do, because it just cuts a step out for the student, it adds the step to me, but it cuts it out for the student, is that I use two screens already. I'm a two-screen computer person, and so I will have the page up, the Padlet assignment up on one page, and then I will open the SpeedGrader on another page, and then I will just kind of scroll through the Padlet, and then I will put feedback and comments on SpeedGrader on the other screen. Right. And
right.
So they're both in front of me. So that cuts down a step for students. So it makes it a little bit easier on them. and a tiny bit harder on us. It's not that much more difficult. It's just if you don't have two screens, it's a bit unwieldy.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you. That solves that problem. Appreciate it.
Mhm. Okay. Um, so all kinds of good stuff here. Great look at all this. Like this is amazing to see kind of these things pop up. And you know, for an online class, this provides that extra layer of humanization, as Monica was talking about earlier, right? It provides that human touch to the class. I feel that the discussion boards are just too sterile. They're just too like inhuman and robotic to me. But the Padlets bring a whole level of warmth to the course that it's just amazing. You see so many cool things. Yee, faces. So we put, was this you, John? Put in a video.
Yes, I never had did it before, so I was
Good
playing
for you.
around.
Good for you. Awesome. I love to see that. Okay, now I was going to play around and I was going to put a video in that Sarah gave us, and I was going to put it down here into the poker. But let's go ahead and watch Sarah's video. I wanted to put it as a word from our sponsors. I want to plug poker. I am you know, a little background. I'm super biased. Poker has been an amazing experience for me as an educator, and it allowed me, you know, while I was going through my tenure track, to really make sure that I was producing the highest level, highest quality work possible. And it allowed me to understand course design on a whole new level that I've taken with me to everything that I design now. I have one class already on the CVC registry. And I just told Sarah right now, I just over the break finished my second course. And so now it will be reviewed by Sarah and Monica and maybe Kelly. I don't know, whoever, all the cool people that we have on our team will give it a review. They'll give me some feedback if I need to fix anything, and then we'll have a second class on the registry. So, we can hear this. Let me know if we have problems hearing it. But I'm gonna play Sarah's video from the start.
Hi, my name is Sarah Boland, counseling faculty, and also the lead for the Peer Online Course Review or POKER program at Contra Costa College. POKER is a professional development opportunity hosted through the Distance Education Initiative, and I'm hopeful to give you some information today that would encourage you to apply for this semester. POKER was developed by the CVC OEI, or California Virtual College Online Education Initiative, to ensure that all students have access to high quality, accessible, and equitable courses. At Contra Costa College, we also employ the Peralta Equity Rubric to ensure our classes not just meet equitable standards, but exceed them. The rubric covers 5 main areas, which include presentation, interaction, assessment, accessibility, and equity. At Contra Costa College, POKER is a paid professional development opportunity up to $2,000 at your OAS rate. You might be wondering where you come into all of this. That's a great question and thought. Each semester, we invite up to 6 faculty to participate in the program where they receive one-on-one mentoring and train with a trained faculty colleague, participate in interactive group sessions focused on each area of the rubric, including 4 intensive workshops on accessibility. The goal is to fully align your already amazing course to the CVC OEI rubric and Peralta Equity rubric, leading to quality badging, which will be displayed on the online course exchange each time you teach it. Currently, we have 18 faculty who have participated in POKER so far and are quality badged on the OEI exchange. We have another 8 who are in progress, and we hope to have badged within the coming months. We would love to add your name to the CCC POKER Wall of Fame. In this short period of time, you have a lot of other things that you're working on, but I'm sure you might have more questions about this program, and I'm happy to answer them at any time. Please feel free to email me with your questions. I will respond there, but I'm also willing to set up a time to chat via phone, Zoom, or in person if you're on campus to answer your questions. You also can go ahead and use the link displayed here and apply directly today if you'd like. I hope to see you soon and enjoy the rest of your day.
Awesome. Any questions, since we were lucky enough to have Sarah here, right now? Any questions on this video that are just burning? Need to know.
I actually just popped into the chat too. I know we have some folks from LMC here and then also DVC. And at DVC, the program is called POMP, but you both have these programs at your campuses as well. So I'm not sure who the contacts are at each of those locations, but if you're wondering who it is, feel free to shoot me an email. I'll be happy to find out for you. Yeah, Kathleen.
I'm very interested in it. And when does it start in the semester?
That's a great question. So I am going to put the link to the application in the chat right now. There are 4 meetings, as I mentioned in the video, and they take place on Thursdays from 1 to 3. The first hour from 1 to 2 focuses on the nuts and bolts of a particular area of the CVC rubric, and then every month from the 2 to 3 o'clock hour focuses on area D, which is accessibility. And so there's 4 accessibility sessions built in. The first meeting is on February 29th from 1 to 3 o'clock. So let me grab the link right now and put this in the chat so that you can take a look.
Thank you. Highly. I can't stress enough how important poker was to me as an educator, and how it really just helped me level up everything about how I think about designing courses, and not just online courses. The CVC rubric is really applicable to just high quality course design, no matter the modality. It really plugs in and has so many areas of crossover, and it's one of my favorite parts of the semester. I was kind of bummed last semester I didn't have a mentee. I really love working with faculty on really accomplishing their vision for the course, and so love it. So I have a little. Looks like most of you some of you skipped ahead and got in on this. But where's the video at? I wanted people to put a video here, just so you could see how you can put your own little videos in. So if you actually click the little edit button, there is a screen recorder option, right? And so you can have students just pop in the screen recorder option. It's not going to let me do it because I'm sharing my camera right now, so that's why it won't let me do that. So I'm just going to refresh this screen. Because I'm sharing my camera, I can't do that. We'd have to mute your camera, and then you should be able to put a little video in here, and so people can actually have conversations with one another. I'll often use this as a book club opportunity. As students are all kind of reading a book, I'll have them connect and talk about their favorite spots in the book here in a Padlet. So you can just kind of see all these kind of cool things. Geography. Nice. So what I'm asking for in this particular one is to kind of put in a course that you would be most interested or most inclined to go through the poker program with, and then in that little screen recording, why you would why your class would benefit from it, like why you want to really level that class up. Gonna take a moment to do that at your leisure. I think we're running a little bit low on time, so we can skip this one here. I just wanted to show you one of the things that's possible to add another layer of connection with your students. Now, if you're interested in using Padlet, if you click this little thing, I have created a walkthrough on how to create and integrate a Padlet if you've never done this before. Padlet just went through a ridiculous facelift, so much is different about it. So none of my old materials work anymore, but that's okay. So here is just a basic walkthrough on how to do this. So you just go to a padlet.com. You may have to create an account if you don't already have one. I just want to let you know that the free version allows up to 3 Padlets, and then you can recycle them. You can edit them and change them around, and pull it down from one part of your class and just pop it up in the next part of your class that's new. And so once the old stuff is done, you can bring it into the new. I know Randy is in the process of trying to get us some more licenses. And so if you're interested in one of these, Randy would be a contact person in the future to get you a license to have unlimited Padlets. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, then basically you'd make a Padlet. Here you would click any one of the different templates. There are so many different templates. There's about thank you, Randy. There's about 8 of the standard ones, and then there's a bunch of kind of new enhanced ones. How often do I use Padlet in my class? Once or twice a week, easily. Plus, I run a Padlet bulletin board on my homepage, so that I am able to take all of the flyers that get sent to us in our email for student support services, and I just put those flyers into the Padlet that stays alive on my homepage. So that's always there. And I like to in my announcement page, I like to kind of put an inspiration wall, a gratitude wall type thing in the announcement, so to let students kind of share some of the things that are exciting them or motivating them for the week. Kind of keep that going, songs and stuff like that. I use it a lot. I use it tons. All right, and so here's just a bunch of resources. You should be able to follow these. Good titles, directions. I want to really like any activity, the quality of your directions, clear and concise directions on what you need students to do is the key. Just like we'll talk about with hypothesis, with Padlet, it's the exact same thing. Students need to know what they need to do, and you want to make sure that they're comfortable doing that. And so those directions are super clear. And I provided some very clear directions for the activities that I just had you do, because I wanted you to experience a Padlet design that is effective. And you're able to see how good the responses were in that first one that we had time to go through kind of slowly, right? So super important. Click done. Then if you want students to comment with one another, there's a little activity, a little check box. Don't forget to activate the comments for students to comment on. And then to use it in your course, you really need to alter the share settings. And so one of the ones is reader. You want students to be able to write, not edit, but write. And so that'll be an option so that they're able to write as here. So writer, that they can write new posts, and everybody is able to get into there and do whatever they need to do. And then I don't use org only for my link privacy. I use the Padlet as secret. It will be hidden from the public. Only people with the link can access it. So once you've put it in your course, that means that people in your course can access it. Just like you were able to access the Padlets in the DEPD, I use the exact same setup. Now, in the same little pane, once you've done all those setups, there is an option to embed your Padlet into your campus course. So just go ahead and click the embed code, copy the Padlet code, and then come to Canvas, click into edit. So a page that you've already created, click into the edit, click somewhere on your page wherever you want that to appear. And there's a nifty little tool in the more, usually hidden under the 3 dots here, and it looks like a cloud. So click into that cloud. That's the embed cloud. And that'll open a box, and then you just paste in the code that you copied, click on submit, and save your page, and the Padlet will appear in your Canvas course. And it will be alive, and anybody will be able to access it and use it. So these directions are on the page, so you can follow them at your leisure. You are setting up your own Padlet assignment or Padlet activity. Most of the time, I don't even make it an assignment. I just make it an activity. And students, even though they're not getting points, still do it. Wild. It's absolutely wild that they'll still participate, even though they know they're not getting any points. But it's just a fun, useful activity. I'm going to move on from Padlet here in a second. Any quick questions? Any residual questions left over from Padlet? Okay. So those of you who know me already know that I am the world's biggest fanboy of Hypothesis. I I forgot this other page is here. So the first page that I provided, all the Padlet stuff, it was just to provide a nice real-time experience with what RSI can do for your class and a way that Padlet can bring it in to your course. This page, I'm not going to spend time going over it, but I highly suggest that you come back after the workshop and kind of read through some of these things. I put a little kind of PowerPoint in here, but it really defines RSI. The key points to take away here is it should be regular. This should happen on a regular basis within your course, right? Students should connect with each other and have the opportunity to connect with each other once or twice a week. I would say at minimum, a bare minimum, and that the faculty should be able to engage with them as well. And Monica popped in here predictive. It's predictable and scheduled. So students should expect to connect, and they should know that, you know, for me, they're always going to connect with one another on by Wednesday. You know, always by Wednesdays. It'll be open on Monday, and they'll connect with one another by Wednesday, and they will connect with one another by Friday. And if we're really getting into it, they might connect with one another over the weekend, right? If we really have a lot to work on. But they know that on scheduled, predictable moments in time that they are going to connect with one another. And Monica, you can jump in here anytime. You're also an expert on this. You know, and here's some student voice. So I put in some student voices. They really appreciate the structure, and they really appreciate being able to connect with one another. And the bottom one here is one of my favorite comments ever, right? How the student says, it makes me feel that even in an asynchronous class, you're in a physical classroom, right? With the many interactions with classmates, I don't feel entirely alone in this class. That's what I'm going for, right? That's what we're going for in this class. So students feel that they're in a community, and that they feel that they're valued, and that they are part of the group. And then a bunch of DE policy stuff. So these are some things to kind of look at to give you some ideas on other ways to bring RSI to your classes. Even though I'm focusing primarily on Padlet and Hypothesis, here are some other kind of more standardized things to think about. All right, so it's just a couple activities. I'm not going to go and spend a lot of time in there. Here is the CCC policy. So if you want to know kind of the CCC DE committee policy on regular and substantive interaction, you can read through it in its entirety here. But the basic idea is that we want to connect students at least twice a week with one another within your online classes. Okay, now my favorite tool of all time is a tool called Hypothesis. In fact, the last time I saw data numbers, I was in the top 5 California instructors with Hypothesis usage. So I was super high up there. I was number 1 for a while, but I don't know if I'm still number 1. And I haven't seen data for a little bit of time, but I am a massive user on here. So I have the most student posts and some of the most instructor posts out there. So I use it a lot. I just want to let you know that I love Hypothesis, and actually the students love it too. And that's what I'm going to have you practice with today in Hypothesis. So the directions, as always here, I've compiled a list of comments that students make about Hypothesis. So I participated in a podcast for Hypothesis a couple years back, and which the Hypothesis hosts this podcast. And so Meritez and I and someone from DVC, we went on and we just talked about how we use Hypothesis in our classrooms and all the different ways that we are using it. And one of the things I shared was some of the student comments and some of the things that the students have shared with me without me even asking them. These are unrequested. I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for, but I did not ask for these. Students have emailed me these, or on different feedback areas on things that I ask them about what they like about the class. These are the things that they write. Or on student evaluations when they're writing about me during my tenure track stuff. There was a lot of evaluations. A lot of students wrote stuff. So I pulled all these from all these different sources, but not one of them was requested from students. And so from you, I want you to look at these student comments. I want you to read through them, and I want you to contribute annotations when you see something interesting, something like, oh, aha, this is amazing, or when you have a similar connection with something one of the students says, or when you have a different experience as one of you from one of the students, kind of share that, or express an exciting new thought. What did a student comment inspire you to do? And then, since we're really about RSI is about building community within the classroom, I'm going to encourage you to reply to some of your colleagues in this room. And when you reply, kind of consider sharing a similar experience. Like show some commonality with the people in the room and share those similar experiences, or possibly a contrasting experience, or you might have a question for that person in the class. And then I always think it's fair that if somebody asks you a question, we should answer it. And so here is the hypothesis interface. If you've never seen it, it looks like this. Any PDF can be put into hypothesis. To use it, you would simply highlight whatever you thought was interesting. Then you would click the annotate. Then you have an opportunity here to be all fun. When is school fun? And then I like to add tags. And then you just post it to the DEPD. I want to show one thing here. If you pull this arrow, there is an option that says only me. I would don't click that. It does mean only you. The teacher can't even see it. Not only can the students not see it, the teacher cannot see it. So I've had the shy students will often kind of do the only me because they don't want to kind of they don't feel like they want to collaborate. But even I can't see that, so that becomes a little bit problematic. So I encourage students to just jump in there and share their brilliance. Like I love hypothesis. I don't spend a lot of time I don't spend any time correcting students. And for me, hypothesis is all about having students build interaction and connection with one another. And one of the things that I kind of mentioned in the podcast that I participated in was that I used hypothesis to decentralize authority in reading. So as an English teacher, oftentimes students look to us to be the authority. But there's nothing critical about just accepting authority without questioning it. And so I encourage students to make individual meaning based on their own experiences. And so how whatever they're reading connects to them on a human individual just basis, right? So how does this connect to you in an authentic way? And I always share and I create the culture that there is no right or wrong answer when using hypothesis. The worst thing we as teachers can do if we use hypothesis is to correct the student. Public, in front of everybody. It doesn't go away. And so it's terrible. So I use my time on hypothesis as a cheerleader. I really practice positive reinforcement on really good ideas that I see from students and things that I love, responses that I love, and I point out what I really love about them and what makes that response strong. And then if a student, sometimes students are in a different world, right? If a student is kind of in that different world, I will ask open-ended questions of them to try to bring them around and open them up to new perspectives rather than say, what? You're crazy. I mean, close to life. That's a ridiculous idea. I would never say that in public, in front of a student. Hypothesis plugs into SpeedGrader really nicely. And if we get a couple comments here, I'll show you what it looks like in SpeedGrader. And you can give your more pointed comments to them in SpeedGrader, so it's private, just between you and them. So spend a couple minutes, read through these, and participate. Let's get some annotations in here. I want everybody to have an opportunity to use hypothesis from a student-facing perspective. What amazed me. Include more articles because with this class, I enjoy readings and always left me wanting more. And that's coming from someone who would always say reading sucks. Another ones I loved. Give me more stuff. And they say students don't want to work, right? They do. Give them something to be excited about.
So Brandon, for this assignment, do we need to go through the PD?
Yeah, you have to go through the
Okay.
DEPD shell. So there's no way to do this,
Right.
not the way I've set it up to do it online. Hypothesis does have a global option where you can send students, you can put articles into the Hypothesis global. The only issue with that is really that it's global, so anyone can kind of be a part of it. It's kind of a little dodgy when it comes to FERPA. So yeah, go into the DEPD show. Let me put the. I'll go ahead. If you're not there yet, it's here.
Yeah, for anyone who's first time using Hypothesis, you're going to have to authorize
Mm,
Hypothesis and you need to sign in again. So you shouldn't
thank you
have
for
to
that.
do the whole second factor authentication, but you will have to sign in again.
I'm so far removed from being a first-time user, I forgot all about that.
I thought so, Brandon. I'm like, Brandon forgot
Thank
you
you.
have to authorize.
So every once in a while, I guess that does pop up. Like if I import, oh no, it's got to restart her computer. Every once in a while, if I import this from a previous semester, I'll have to click the authorize, but I rarely have to sign in again. But it can happen.
So I just included an annotation, but I don't see it on your view.
So see this little arrow flashing red?
Yes.
It
Yep.
doesn't populate automatically, but if I click that, then you will appear.
Oh, got
So
it.
it's not
Okay.
like
Oh,
Padlet
and now
that populates auto. You'd need to either refresh or there is that little arrow pointing down will appear and it'll flash red. And so that'll tell you when I'm using this inside I use Hypothesis also in the classroom in face-to-face classes as we will kind of read and collaboratively make meaning of text or poems or something in a classroom. And so I'll have to remember to click this from time to time so that I can see it. So again, you see that little flashing red arrow circle thing. If I just click that, then new people appear. So we got all kinds of cool stuff is popping in here. Love it, love it, love it.
So I don't see that on my end, but is that because I'm not supposed to as a student?
Let's wait for someone else to post in there. Are they
Sure.
automatically populating for you?
No, I don't. Hold
It's
on.
my understanding that it should show up for everybody.
I just have the search annotations. I have the sort by newest,
Mm-hmm. I've got
share,
all the same ones because nobody's posted a new one. So
but I
once,
only see mine and yours. I don't see those others that you added. We don't have to spend any time on this right now. If other people see it, I'll ask you about it later.
Interesting. You might just need to refresh your screen.
Oh, okay. Yep. There they all are.
There we
Thanks.
go. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's just because I'm the creator that I get that little nifty part. Right? Good stuff. So take a moment to reply to another person. To do that, you click the little reply arrow in the bottom right-hand corner. You just click that little arrow, and then you can reply. And some of my key replies, sometimes a lot of times uh, as a teacher, I'll just put like a few of these in there and give students a little cheerlead. I don't even have to write anything. Just say, hey, I love this. Give them a little fire emoji, and they know that they're doing a good job. And so I try to, when I use Hypothesis, I try to do everything I can so that the assignment is not about me. I like to take the spotlight off of me and put that spotlight on the students and the great idea that the students are having so that I can positively reinforce their critical thinking and give them inspiration to try new things and to take chances with the meaning making process. And by the end of the semester, wow, a lot of these responses, I ask for 25 to 30 words. I might get 200 words from certain students. Like they really just like go crazy on it. And I usually ask for maybe 5 annotations, depending on what we're reading. Students, we were reading the last chapter of a novel, and students were writing 20, 25 annotations a piece on the last chapter of the novel because they were so moved by the story. So it was just a beautiful thing to watch. I like tacos. I love tacos. Good, 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 good. Good. Right. And then you can always go back and check back with them. And I am in the process, I'm always in the process of trying to get Hypothesis to use @mentions so that you can get notified if somebody mentions you. Right now, they don't do that. But I am always asking for it. So I don't know what's going on with that, but it's not here yet. Not that I'm aware of. All right,
I have a quick question.
go for it.
This can also be linked to the speed grader
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's take a look at it.
the same
Uh,
way with external tool.
Yep. So it actually plays really well with SpeedGrader. Takes a second to load, but the whole so you'll see that the whole document loads, and then here's Leslie. Sorry to put you on spot, Leslie. You're just you're number one, number one in my book anyway too. But here you see that only her comments show up here, right? And then if you want to see the context, you can click the showing the more, and so you can see kind of where in context she was in the whole conversation, or you could just look at her own annotations, right? And so you're able to get all of the things that she's saying and all of the different people who've commented on her and who she has commented on. Sarah.
Yeah, so I'm a counselor, so I teach job search strategies as one of my courses, career exploration. So, students aren't reading texts such as yours, and maybe Maria, you can relate to this with math as well. So I'm just wondering, I'm starting to see this as a tool that I could use as a alternative to the traditional discussions, where, maybe a reading on a career development theory or a resume, for example, and then they could annotate the resume and give feedback on that. Am I in the right lane here with this?
Absolutely.
Finally,
I use it as peer review.
Semesters, Brandon.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You can absolutely have them provide feedback. You can give it would require you get if you wanted to do student work, it would require you get a volunteer in advance, and then they would send you a PDF and you would upload their PDF, and then people could give them feedback on their draft. You could also have them annotate websites. So you can put a URL in here and send them to a website, to a job search website or something of that nature to annotate. And new to this year is videos. I've not used the videos portion yet, but you can have students annotate videos. So there is a lot of things you can use and you can do with this.
Awesome. Thank you.
Other questions? So I also added a handy dandy Tango walkthrough here. And by the way, if you don't use Tango yet to do these walkthroughs, they have upped their game. It's a Google extension plugin. It's quick, it's easy, it's free, and it does this. It does these beautiful walkthroughs almost seamlessly. Each one of these walkthroughs took me 5 minutes max to do these. So it's a beautiful tool called Tango, like the dance. You can see down here, tango.us. Amazing. So much fun. And so easy to do these walkthroughs. But again, just walk you through. You go to assignment. As always, your directions clear and concise. As an English teacher, I use reader apprenticeship frameworks for the most part to give students things to talk about and kind of give them directions on how to respond to text. It's part of what I do in my job. That's one of my SLOs. So I use those. But you can just any kind of sets of directions and things that you want students to focus on. Just be clear, be concise, and be direct with it. Give as many points as you want. Go ahead and put it in whatever assignment group you want to put it in. If you're using weighted averages, put it in whatever section it belongs in, right from here. Click the external tool option. Then you go to find it, and then you scroll down, and it's in Hypothesis. go ahead and you'll click that, you'll click select. Then I use Google Drive, but you can see you could use web pages. You could use another page from Canvas using the articles. There's a bunch of different things that you could use. Anything that you have loaded in Canvas already, anything you have on OneDrive. I typically use Google Drive, and then from Google Drive, it'll open up a window into your computer that Tango won't show, so I wasn't able to put it here. But then I just navigated my file system, found the file that I wanted, clicked on that file. Then once I clicked on that file, I uploaded it and I brought it and just clicked select. You set your due date and then save it and publish it. And then you get this. So pretty streamlined at this point in time and pretty easy to follow these directions. Of course, if you ever have questions on how to integrate any of these tools or any other kind of tools into your course, that's what Monica and I do. We're available all year round to meet with you and walk you through setting these up and help you with best practices and really get you on the path to success. And so if you are from CCC, Monica and I are here to work with you. All right, so that looks to be about my time. Oh, there has a down arrow feature. Sweet. Okay, I didn't see that. Any questions? Any questions? I left a ton more resources in that module. There's a whole bunch of other resources, just loads and loads and loads of resources. I encourage you to wade through at your leisure. If you get stuck, everything is there that you should need to unstuck. But if you'd rather a human, then again, Monica and I are here for you. Don't hesitate to reach out. We're excited to work with you. Questions, comments, thoughts? All right. I appreciate all of you for coming by. Great turnout, great group. Hopefully you learned a little something new that you can take with you and put to work right away. I think that's the time, right? And to 11:30, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Thanks a bunch. Go out and have a great rest of your. What's that? All right. Who's recording? Monica, you want to stop recording?